Moin Leute and hey everybody. Since I had stayed in Namibia quite often and for a long time, I was invited by a friend to go on an unusual private safari. When the broom wagon wiggled up the big red dune, the leader and bossman of our gang, Harry, briefed us about what's coming next. A day of hot four-wheel drive with all the complications ahead, and we all should check out the cars and safe packing before we dive into the real nothingness. Harry pointed to the mountains in the far distance. This will be our next destination, where we will have an African lunch before we crawl through that gap into the red dune sea. After the check-up, we entered our bolides and took off down the dune. A cruiser immediately got stuck in the boiling hot sand and had to be pulled out by Harry with a snap strap. An interesting event after the first few kilometers on the first day for the next 100 kilometers. After this entry into the 4x4 land of sand, we wheeled down the last dune of red sand stretch without more stunts and followed with our convoy a long wide dune valley to the mountains in the distance. After a few hours through that wide, long valley with burnt silvergrass, we reached the announced gap in the mountains. The supporters quickly built up an African buffet, while I climbed the hill to see where we came from and where we will go. A lone Comifora bush and an Euphorbia shrub, both burnt by the sun, stood alone in the scorching heat, waiting for the next rainy season, perhaps in 11 years as before. The fiery wind rustled the dry grass around me. Back to the east I could see the highlands on the horizon which we cruised 2 days ago. Down in the valley our bunch prepared the 4x4s for a traditional monster to the gap in the sharp rocks later on, from where we should continue on to the western Rooi Bank for the night. This lunch here is similar to a full-board Thanksgiving dinner with 7 different game meat like Kudu, Springbok, Oryx, zebra, Ostrich, Boerewors and Biltong. Beer and booze of course, and you might find a bit of greens as well, to at least make an impression for some rain will come. While the rocky gap in the nothingness, meek but dangerous, wait in the boiling heat.